Hey y'all, hey, it's JJ Conway. Welcome to Building Wealth Together, where our goal is to help you walk in abundance and leave a legacy. It's Saturday morning, so you know what that means. It's time for Juice with JJ, where we talk about things that make you go, Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to today's Juice with JJ. Today's topic is based on an observation that several of you had with my last Building Wealth Together class. For those of you who don't already know, the Building Wealth Together Investment Education Group was formed almost 6 years ago in Alexandria, Virginia. And it's my group that teaches you about investments, including real estate, and entrepreneurial mindset, including how to select, start, and succeed at a business that works for your personality. This group meets every first Saturday, and due to COVID, we've been meeting virtually. I always start off with a discussion of what we are. Solutions, not a sales pitch. And the next thing I talk about, after I talk about the group, I talk about my big why. Your big why is the reason behind the reason for what you do. It's what pushes you through the ups and downs of investing in entrepreneurship. Your big why is what motivates you to stay away from that emergency fund when you feel like everyone else is passing you by, or when you're tired of trying to get debt free, or when you're tempted to buy just one more class that you know you can't afford. My big why has always been my boys. It started off as just my oldest because I was determined that he would never again have to spend the night in my car sleeping in a Walmart parking lot and then eating his meals from whatever free samples we could find at Sam's Club or Meijer's or whatever church was offering free family meal that night. Never again. Never again was my son going to have to live that kind of life. And all the successful people I've talked to have those never again moments where they have hit rock bottom, whether it's financially or in their relationships or maybe in their health or fill in the blank. Everybody has this moment, and it's what pushes them to really get a hold of what successful people do so that they can be a sustained success. And I left my big why out of last month's Building Wealth Together meeting presentation. It was on self-directed IRAs, by the way. It's an awesome topic. If you have not heard of this, you need to go watch that class. Go to my Facebook page and watch it. Because I'm beginning to shift my energy, I chose to leave the big why out. See, my energy regarding my never again moment is all based in the negativity of coming home from a military trip to find my house sold, my stuff thrown out, and over $845,000 of debt to my name. And every time I tell that story, I'm tapping back into that energy. But see, I don't need to worry about that ever again. I know I can't trust my investments. I know I can't trust in certain riches. In fact, the Bible warns us when God's children trust in certain riches, they grow wings and fly away. And I've been there, done that. I don't ever want to have to learn that lesson again. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not worried about sleeping in a Walmart parking lot unless I'm traveling and I'm sleepy and I just want to take a quick nap. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? If I came home, Lord, please prevent this from ever happening. But if I came home from a speaking engagement and a comet has hit my house and my family and all of my belongings were gone, I would grieve for them, especially since I'm not sure them boys are saved, y'all. The cubby has a mean streak. I would grieve for them, but I have a big enough network that I wouldn't have to spend the night alone. I have friends I could go to. 10 years ago, I didn't have friends I could go to. 11 years ago, when I came home and I found myself in that situation, the friends I thought I had all loved my ex. They couldn't stand me. They only had put up with me back then because he had talent and they thought we had money. When you find out what people really think of you, and it's not pleasant, it scars you. Now, have you ever had an energy where, or an injury where the scar tissue gets irritated? You know, the doctors tell you do your scar massage, and you do, but sometimes it just gets irritated. It seems like for no reason. It's irritating, it's uncomfortable, no matter how much oil you put on it, no matter how much you rub it, no matter how much you soak it in Epsom salts, it's just irritated and bothers you, and it's just under your skin, constantly reminding you of your imperfections. Every time I tell the story of never again will my kid sleep at the floor of my bed in a moldy basement apartment, because that's all I could afford when my ex first moved away. I mean, we weren't divorced yet. I thought he was just moving ahead of me on my military orders. I didn't realize at that time that he was trying to start his new life, which would kind of explain why all I could afford was the moldy basement apartment. Oh, the scars of being disillusioned. The scars of bending over backwards, trying to do everything I could do to fix my marriage and failing. The scars of even taking that military trip so I could earn extra money to make ends meet because he was spending my paycheck faster than I could earn it. The scars of coming home and discovering I had no place to live. The scars of climbing out of all that debt. The scars of 6 months later discovering the whole church knew he was getting too close to another female minister, but everyone still blamed me for the divorce. All those scars get activated every time I tell the story. Can't you feel the energy, the negative energy, even as I talk about it now? That negative energy belongs in the past. And I'm not sure how to capture it moving forward, because it's going to be my never again moment. That's not going to change. But I know now that if I lost everything tomorrow, I wouldn't be homeless. I now know that I have a support network that I could lean upon. And I've learned not only to become a public speaker, but how to get out there and sell my public speaking. I know that if nothing else, I can find quick work, or I can go to the park and encourage people for donations, and I can make enough money to eat tomorrow. I am not worried about starving tomorrow. I'm not worried about eating and making one can of oatmeal stretch for a week. That is never again going to be part of my story, right? I know that I will be okay. And after you've climbed out of over $800,000 of debt, and after you've had a successful career in the military, being told that you couldn't do something because blacks can't do it, and then having to prove the military wrong, there's something that happens in your psyche. You begin to realize that you can do it. You can make it. You can create the life of your dreams. Now, I didn't realize that right away. Many of you have heard the story. I was still stuck in old patterns of thought. And for over a decade, my accomplishments still felt inside like failures because they didn't grant me the acceptance and the respect I sought. I didn't realize that it has to come first from within you. But now that I've got it, I've got it. My success was never in the accolades or the degrees or the bank account. The divorce and the debt didn't make me a failure. It delayed some progress on paper. But honestly, when I look back, I see how much I've grown, and I kind of can't say it really blocked or delayed me. I actually think it was part of my growth. Certainly led me to meeting a really great husband. Look, your success is also not in your degrees or accolades or whatever you have. And conversely, your failure is not in the things that go wrong or the things you have not yet attained. Our success and our failure lie in our mindset, in our self-image. It's not in what we have, but in who and whose we are. I want to encourage you today to challenge the negativity in your life. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm challenging the negativity in my life, and I'm redrafting my purpose, vision, and goals to match the new expanded vision for my life that God has given me. He's called me to move beyond the pain and into elevating families and communities. I can't wait to see how he does it, and I hope you'll continue to be a part of that journey. If what I'm saying resonates with you, I want to encourage you to register today for this year's Self-Image Rising class.